Oh, now we're live. You didn't even tell. That is so sick.
Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rebel Base Radio. Hello, Sheena. Sheena's already here. Look.
Is she really?
Yeah. First up.
Nice.
Obviously, it's me. It's the real Jedi Princess there. I still get confused about what way I'm supposed to be pointing. It's there. And we're here. Look at that. Sems is here as well.
On time, because we never are late.
No, never late. So we decided that me and Nat, we would get together and do this video thing every week while the Bad Batch is on.
Why'd you have to say it like that?
I can't help it. So yeah, I thought we figured we'd do this every week while the Bad Batch is on. There you go. Talk about the episode, just kind of run through it a bit. This is very much me and Nat together. This is not one of us being on the other one's channel. The way we're going to work this is this time we're here. Next episode, we're going to be over on Nat's channel. So make sure you head over and subscribe to The Real Jedi Princess because she's great.
Oh, thank you. I don't post much on my YouTube anymore because I'm moving over to Twitch. But I do hope to finally put up a freaking review of my lightsabers because I've been meaning to do that.
It's about time, right? You did a run there though, and it was real nice.
I did. I had my podcast going, and then I started working again and realized I was like, oh, this is really hard to like keep up with. Because like when I was able to do it,
why is he? Look at this. We've got.
I'm so excited! Oh my god, my faves! Everyone's here. I love it.
You got the full gang here.
And you know what's hysterical? You know how we first met was season 1.
It was season 1. Yeah. It was season 1. We were on somebody else's stream who we don't mention.
2021.
Right. And I was thank you so much. Yoda's likes lightsabers. Appreciate that. And I was the first person to be like, nah, this is rubbish. And then all of a sudden everybody else was like, no, it is rubbish, isn't it? And I was like,
no, but it wasn't until after the show was over because I will be the person to fully admit when she's wrong. And like most of those live streams I was on, I would be like, yeah, no, I think the episode was great. Like they had momentum, and Jim's like, nah, man, this is absolute garbage. And it would just be Jim. Everyone else would have that positive opinion, and Jim would be like, and everybody look the following week would be like, Jim, how are you feeling? And then there was like, I think like 2 episodes, either 2 or 3. Well, the first one was obviously great.
Yep.
But then there were the 2 episodes, one being with the Empire, as I would say Rempire, and then because I was thinking about Rex at the same time, and then to me, my other favorite episode was when Rex shows up.
Yep.
And you were just like, no, that was actually a decent episode. Like, I'll admit to that. But yeah, the rest is shit. And then like now that I think back to Bad Batch, I'm just like, season 1 at least. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite Star Wars show out there, but I do enjoy it because it is Star Wars. It is the Clone Wars animation that we all love.
Yeah, but it's still the worst of everything Star Wars. Like, I mean, that still gives it a leg up against
Solo.
Don't. Let's not fall out. First episode, and we're like, well, I'm not doing this again. I like Solo. So yeah, Bad Batch was an interesting one. See, Sems is with me. Sam's is weird. We do
Well,
Sam's
here,
is
then,
weird.
well, hold on a minute, because Sam's would, because I asked him about it, and I'm like, why do you hate the Bad Batch so much? And he goes, well, I haven't really finished it. And I'm like, you haven't finished it? I'm like, bro, like, at least finish it and then still say that it's shit. But
Yeah, and then he did, and it was.
and it was shit.
Hey, Cass, my lovely girlfriend. She's joining us. She hasn't watched. She never finished the first season of Bad Batch because even she was like, "No, this is dog shit, mate."
It's okay. It's okay. We're not season 2.
But that's it, right? So we're diving into season 2. We were like, listen, did you watch that Grogu and the Dust Bunnies?
I did not, to be honest. And
Maybe
it's not. I know, and I should have watched it at Studios, Joey.
Yeah,
I should have watched it, but I don't know. I think I forgot what was premiering around the same time as that, but I felt like I was watching something else when that came out.
But it was like 7 minutes long. It was like nothing. It was super cute.
Wasn't Andor happening at the same time?
Yes, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was like the season finale of Andor. Because I remember that came out like November-ish time.
Yeah. And I mean, that was dope. We probably should have done this for Andor, but hey, you know what?
Andor was 12 weeks long. And on top of that, you were in Florida for the
on top of that, you and I were actually together in Orlando while it was on, so
True.
Couldn't really do a lot. That seems Darth Vader better be leaving the rebel base alone where this radio lives. Well, this is why we've not given it a planet, because we're the rebels.
Yeah, we're out there. We're out there in the galaxy.
Pirate radio.
Yeah.
Hondo knows where we are, but that's it, you know. But anyway, let's not talk about the Bad Batch season 1 because I've killed it every time someone's mentioned it. Because I hate it. Fine. But it doesn't mean to say that it's always gonna be bad. Clone Wars season 1. I mean, whilst Clone Wars season 1 was still way better than Bad Batch season 1, it wasn't the best, right? We
had the movie and season 1.
Right? Oh, the movie's terrible. It's really bad.
It's really bad.
So bad. But like, see, sometimes you got to give these things time to marinate, and you'll be like, hello, that tastes good. Oh, actually, I'm enjoying this. Give me more. And then you're just like, by season 7 of Clone Wars, you're just like, right? Right. So we were a Bad Batch season 2 came out this week. Now we're never going to do these lives the same day that Bad Batch comes out. There's other people that are doing that. Let them carry on with that. That's cool.
There's people doing live reactions at 2:00 in the morning.
Like that. No, I'm
I
good.
love the guy. I love my peeps who do it, but I enjoy being in that bed knocked out. Now.
I'll take sleep over the Bad Batch any day. I'll take a lot of things over the Bad Batch. Anyway, let's leave the negativity behind. I'm going to try. And we're moving forward from here. So we're always going to go, I reckon, probably Saturday nights or Saturday afternoons for our US people. So we can sit and chill. This is not going to be a crazy long live stream. You don't need to worry about like being here for 4 hours. None of that business. It's always going to be me and Nat. We may bring some other people in, but it's never going to be crazy amounts of people. We like the idea that everyone can be heard and everyone can talk. No one's talking over each other. So this is a chill place for just
it's a vibe.
Chill chat, I'm just going to answer this question. How much lightsabers do you already have, Jim?
Not enough, apparently.
So on last count, which was yesterday, 33, which is too many.
I'm at a whopping 6.
Am I going to stop? Not anytime soon. So let's talk about, we had episodes 1 and 2, we had the spoils of war and then the ruins of war.
Yes.
Right? Brilliant. And so we got 2 episodes, unlike the first season that was like, the first episode was like 50 minutes long.
Yeah, the first episode was, because it was, I think they were trying.
It was longer, wasn't it? Wasn't it like almost film length?
because it covered a lot. Episode 1 of season 1 covered so much. Like a lot of it at one point actually wasn't the Bad Batch. It was actually what was like happening during Order 66.
Yes.
And then
Yeah,
obviously
we got to see like Caleb Doom and all of that as well.
And it's crazy. Like, so for most of season 1, it's just like the transition to the Empire, and clones are still a part of the, you know, the Imperial Army, which is, oh god, well, obviously we're going to talk about it, but like seeing what happens to some of the clones, just like how they're treated over time, it just breaks my heart, because I'm just like, yeah, they're not, I guess to some people they were numbers, but to many they are people, and it's
and not just people, but like friends, brothers,
different brothers,
you know,
yeah.
like they were part of the Republic, you know, so to see them fall so far and become grunts, it's depressing.
Very.
I'm not gonna lie, it's depressing.
It is.
I do need a house just for my sabers, or at least four stairways, maybe 5, and that is more than Grievous owns. Grievous is jealous of me. So we got 2 episodes. They were both about 25 minutes long.
Not long.
Not long. Before we get into them, this is going to be a spoiler-heavy chat. We are going to go through kind of the things that happen, not beat by beat, but just things that happen. But what was your feeling after watching both episodes? What did you feel about them?
Since it had been so long since we saw season 1, because like after season 1 ended, I didn't go back to rewatch it.
Why
so
would
like you? Right. So I don't remember much from 2021, like, to be frank, because we've had so much Star Wars content since. But I think what was nice is I guess seeing like a more evolved version of them. Because it's like the last time we saw them, they're like it was Clone Force 99. They still had Crosshair, part of the team, and then Omega was just came for the ride and got lost in so many places. But in this time, like, she's legit now part of the crew. She's a big part of the crew from just seeing the first episode. She's not just studying her with her books with Tech. She's literally like, oh, I'm gonna bring you guys down, save you guys, and come back up, and then hide into my little thing on the ship. The first 5 seconds of episode 1 had me cackling, because just like, of course they're running away from something, and Wrecker's carrying this big thing, and all of a sudden I just see a shit ton of crabs just
everywhere,
and it gave me so much it was giving me so much of Pirates of the Caribbean. Please tell me you know which one I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, when he's like
running away.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so funny. It was giving me very much what I expected from the Bad Batch. But you see, what's crazy is that scene was in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this is going to be like way, way, way down. But no, it was the first 5 seconds. I'm like, interesting that you started off with that.
I quite like that, because then it kind of draws me in a bit more, because I'm like, okay, so you didn't show us some of the further down the line things.
You just showed me like episode 1.
You showed me first thing, which means there's a lot more to see.
Fun. How are your thoughts?
So, I don't want to shit on it straight away, but
you're taking a gentle shit, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Just a light dusting. I'm just going to pepper it with shit from a height. It felt the same.
It didn't change. No, it didn't change much.
Unlike,
other than how they look.
We're on a fetch quest again from Sid, at which point I wanted to peel my face off. And I'm just like, I don't want to do this again. Please, can we not do this again? It's my biggest complaint about the first season. I'm like, every single episode is a fetch quest, right? And I don't want that again, right? Let me say what I did enjoy. From just the first few minutes, I enjoyed the fact that they're starting to look more and more individual.
Yes.
I'm enjoying their whole thing. I like the fact that you're right, like you said, Omega's actually part of the team as opposed to just an annoying kid hanging on.
Mm-hmm.
I still really, really like their ship. I think it's a nice ship.
I think they have a very nice ship.
The Marauder is dope. I'm a sucker for ships with sails, where the wings come down.
Mm-hmm.
As you see, I've got like a Lambda class there, and I've got like Krennic shuttle. I love them. So for me, I'm like, yeah, sold. So those are the things that I enjoyed.
I will say another positive thing, just so we have some
Okay.
like positive light and positive energy.
Wait. We are going to have something that will stun you rigid. This comment. Right?
Simon.
I know. I never expected that. He does then go on to say, apart from Omega saying, "It's a treasure."
Oh my god, yeah. I get it. I mean, I know they're trying to give her this like Aussie kind of.
Well, they're trying to make her sound like the rest of the clones, but it's weird.
It's weird, yeah.
It's weird. Especially as like, I mean, 6 out of 10 is quite high.
For Sam, oh my god, for Sam, that's actually pretty impressive.
I would say I still struggle with this whole she's a genetic female clone of Jango Fett. That's not how genetics work at all.
It was just also very confused. They never explained who she was, how she was, and why she was. They just explained that she was a specific experiment that could not leave Kamino.
Izzy, you need to come on now. Yours, that's hilarious.
But so don't do Leia like that.
No, right? Okay, so this is kind of one of the things that I'm hoping, right? So, okay, the first 2 episodes were very much fetch questy, right? I have a problem with that because I'm like the entire first season with fetch questy, but then at the same time, I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe they've done that for the first 2 episodes to break people back into who this group is and to go, right, here's the setup again. Do you remember? They were working for Sid. They need money. They're still on the run from the Empire. This is what's happening with the Empire now. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it a pass because I'm like, there were bits in it that I really enjoyed. However, if the next 2 episodes aren't different, I'm going to have a problem. Hey, Matt.
What's up, Matt?
You
just knocked over the trash.
No, I didn't. Oh,
no, not you. The one that has a cone on their head. Why'd you do that?
No, it's definitely not me. So yeah, so I get the point of where they were going with it. I just don't want that to be the norm.
No, neither do I. I think it would that whole thing in season 1 where I'm not gonna. It made sense for a few episodes because once again they were on the run for the Empire. They need money. They're like, and on top of that, they are no longer living in a galaxy that you can go by with Republic credits. You need Imperial credits.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's what I did also enjoy seeing from season 1 was that's what the transition of Republic to Empire and how so many people had to change their ways and currency, identification. Like it was a huge galactic change that we were able to see in season 1. But now
that's one part of the thing that frustrated me about season 1 is I wanted more of that.
Yeah.
This show has always been even more than Andor because Andor's still that little bit later that you're like the transition's already happened. This is them now rebelling against that.
Yep.
Bad Batch is in this place where you're like, we've never seen any of this before.
Yeah.
So can you please expand? And so the episode I liked, you're right. The episode I liked was the episode where we got to see the transition to the Empire, and I want to see more of that. This episode did actually give us some of that.
It did, yes, it did, especially in the sense of like, for example, with the clone, with the clone who was like, hey, I 100% saw Clone Force 99. Like, this is somebody we were supposed to kill, arrest, kill, like, assassinate. And then the person's just like, ignore him.
Yeah.
Don't even tell them that they're there. And he goes, I can't do that, sir.
I can't do that.
I cannot do that. I'm modified to tell the truth.
The face.
And then literally, that's what tore my heart, because it's just like, now you have all these clones that were genetically pre-built with a chip in their head to follow the command of the Emperor. And the Emperor said, kill all the Jedi. You're now part of the Empire. And now they're programming, like, now the Empire's like, nah, we don't like you guys.
Yeah.
It's giving me very much of the same.
The actual people that are now in charge don't want those things to happen, don't actually need those. And I think ultimately that's where the crossover between still using clones and then using stormtroopers. Mm-hmm. That's where it's going to be like, these clones don't work anymore because they're too rigid in what they've been programmed, and without deprogramming every single clone, you'd
have to give them brain surgery for each and every single one of them.
And but then what's going to happen to all these clones?
I mean, we saw it in Kenobi. Remember when we saw that clone, the retired clone that was just sitting like,
that was really sad.
I was terrified. It was heartbreaking to see, because that's basically, I hate to say it, and this is the, like, I don't know if this is the same thing in the UK, but here in the States, we have so many military vets that need help after their service, like when it comes to like mental health, all that kind of stuff, and the government's kind of like,
no, yeah,
and that's the majority of the homeless people.
You're not useful to us anymore.
Yeah,
we couldn't give a shit.
And that's
for sure. But so those were the parts of it where I was like, okay, this is good. I was a little frustrated. Like, so they're like, you need to go to Cyrano.
Yeah, that's Dooku's home.
And I'm like, dope, Dooku's home. Pepper me with some Easter eggs in there, please. And they gave us nothing.
I think the only thing I got actually excited about was seeing Dooku's control room. Yeah, because I was just like, I remember that from Clone Wars. And now it's absolute shit because he's dead. And it actually was very, to me, funny that everyone's like, yo, like all the pirates are going to Dooku's home to raid it for money. And I'm just like, so we gonna do that? Doesn't that go back to the people?
Nope. No. And it turns out not only does it not go back to the people, they got rid of the people too.
Yeah, and the survivor was just vibing. He's just like, yeah, I'm not leaving. Like, this is my home, and I am the survivor. Like, everyone else is gone.
Okay, so we have a question from Simon. I mean, I don't right. So I think Omega deserves a helmet of her own. I think it would look sick.
She might get one at the end of the season.
But I mean, I hate that hat. It looks ridiculous.
It looks like, to me, I understand why they have helmets, just because like they look like clones. Well, they're modified clones, so they don't look exactly like Rex in them. But I don't know, they're still clones. They were trained with, the helmet and everything. And Omega, I don't know. I just want her to have a really sick helmet, like freaking Sabine, or like Bo-Katan, like something, like give her like
even.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Mandalorian.
Even
but
Ezra got numerous helmets. And he was just a person. He wasn't a Mandalorian. He wasn't a trooper. True. He just kept stealing them. So I think give Omega her own helmet. And what I would like, so I want to just harken back to something you said earlier on, which is we don't know where Omega came from. We don't know what, where, how, when, or why. I'm kind of hoping that she's going to get to a point in her character development, whether it be season 2 or the inevitable season 3, where she's like, I want to find out more about where I came from.
No,
I
yeah,
want to know more about why I was made.
because they made it seem like it's such a big deal.
Big deal. And then they were like, she's just a girl, don't worry about it. And it's like, no, that's not how that
Dude,
works.
do you remember the conspiracy theories? No, I'm saying the reason why I'm conspiracy because they were definitely like every single episode was people were thinking like this. The one person was thinking about this
I
how
mean, I
Omega was
remember some
forced
people talking some absolute shit.
shit,
That's for sure.
and then they were saying that like she was force sensitive, that she was a Jedi. I'm like,
No, get out. What are you doing?
Oh God! Oh my God!
Yeah, you see, that's the sort of thing I want to see. I
Yeah.
want to see
And
us steal something.
there's helmets everywhere.
There is. There were loads in Sid's house. She had a Mandalorian there that was white with just blue streaks. I
will say though, I forgot her character's name, but the girl that Sid was like, you guys are doing a job for her. The job that they ended up going to Dooku's planet for. That was Wanda Sykes.
Yes.
And if you guys don't know her, Wanda Sykes is a comedian here in the US and she's hysterical. So when I heard her iconic voice, and I'm like, yes, we got Wanda Sykes in Star Wars. It was amazing. Oh, it was great to hear her voice. I just wish she had more of like a presence on the show, but
I think that's going to come back though.
What you think she's become the new Sid? But sure. I will say
because
I really need these bitches to like make some money because I'm like, you guys need to like be on your own for a bit.
So I think it was quite interesting, and I think they gave us a little bit of a nod to what's going to happen because Sid even said herself, I'm not going to be here forever. The Empire's going to come here too, and then I'm going to be out of business. So I think that's what this is setting up, and this will set up their next evolution as characters of them being on their own, and potentially because these 2 episodes were very heavy in about the fact that it's not just about us anymore. There's people out there that need our help, and we know this. If you want to jump forward many, many years into Rebels, we know that there's Rex is still around.
Yep.
What's his name? Wolf is still about, and so they need to. I think there's a good chance that they're going to start finding some of those clones that we know go on to later and start maybe being part of the early rebellion.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna be seeing the early rebellion regardless because I feel like they end up becoming a part of it eventually. Obviously, we don't hear about them closer to like A New Hope and Andor, all that, but I feel like there's no reason why they would be doing the things they're doing and them not having a place building the rebellion because because what they do is still rebelling against the Empire. To them, the enemy is still the Empire.
Yes,
like it doesn't matter.
And like, it's the same for the rebellion.
Exactly. It's gonna be interesting. But episode 1 was definitely. I got like Omega complaining about the treasure the entire freaking episode. That's when I was just like, oh, and her antics start back up again. Because I think she's trying to work so hard to be a part of the crew, and she knows that they need the money, and she heard what they said and what Hunter and Tech were talking about, and then she's like,
"It's don't you find it awfully funny though how she'll listen to that, but then the minute they go, don't do anything, she's like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. I'm going to go get myself into more trouble." So not only do you have the Empire on your ass, we then lose every chance of getting any money at all. And also, I nearly get us all killed. Great.
Another episode of The Bad Batch.
Yeah. I'm like...
I guess that's why they're called The Bad Batch.
You would be ruined if you did that. War chest. Every time be like, oh my God, I'm going to die. So... There was a lot from season 1 in the first 2 episodes of season 2 that I wasn't a fan of, but there was enough in it that was new and that kind of hinted at further stories that I'm like, okay, I'm on board. Currently, I'm on board. Currently, I'm looking forward to episode 3. And I never said that. Although I think I said that after the first episode of season 1. But I'm looking forward to seeing episode 3. And I want them to move along this trajectory. I don't want it to stay the same.
I mean, obviously, like when Bad Batch season 1 was coming out, they were working on season 2 already. Like they were already in, the studio doing that. So I wonder if everything that like the fans said when the Bad Batch was happening is like they're taking, they're actually taking feedback and being like,
they're really good at listening to the fans, aren't they?
I mean, I'm not look. Rise of Skywalker happened. JJ's like, "What you guys want? Okay, I'll try my best."
Here it is.
Dave Filoni's like, "I thought you guys hated this shit, but I guess not. So here we are again."
Yeah.
Season 7, Clone Wars. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean there is that,
But you know what it also was? I feel like they wouldn't have moved forwards with the season 2 of Bad Batch if the Bad Batch episode of Clone Wars did really bad. And the problem is so many people were just like, I really like this team. I want to see more. And that's like, now we're here.
But that's an interesting predicament anyway, because the Bad Batch episodes of Clone Wars season 7 were the first episodes of season 7. Everybody was so hyped for season 7, no matter what it was. They were always going to be like, this was the best episode ever, because we haven't seen it in 5 years. So I'm not necessarily sure that they should have done that. But they did, and here we are. Somehow, season 2, and here we are still talking about it. So they've got to be doing something right.
They're getting paid at the end of the day.
They don't give a shit. They're like, just give me the money. Piss off. Yeah, like, what is episode 3 called? Do we know?
I don't know. They've actually been IMDb has been very like quiet with releasing of the stuff, because I was even trying to figure out. I heard Wanda Sykes, but I wanted to double check and make sure that it was Wanda Sykes, and it didn't even tell me who was in there other than D. Bradley Baker, and the girl who plays Omega. That's it.
Yeah. So the next episode is called The Solitary Clone.
Oh, this is going to be Crosshair then.
You reckon?
I mean, it's either...
Or do you think they run into somebody else?
Solitary Clone. Who else is going to be? Is it going to be who? Rex?
No, not Rex. Maybe Wolf.
Maybe. Let's see. Solitary Clone.
Or it could be Crosshair. I mean, to be fair, like the more they deal with Crosshair, the more we're going to get to see the Empire, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be happy with that. That's just me.
Damn. Tales of the Jedi is only 8.3 rating on IMDb. I thought it was a 10 when it came out.
It is a 10. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, assholes. Like what? But yeah, so see, I personally think it'll probably be Crosshair, just because. How did we leave Crosshair? I thought Crosshair. They left Crosshair on Camino, did they?
Yeah, he got rescued, didn't he? Because he got like, bleh.
Yeah,
he got messed up.
Wrecked completely.
Yeah, but I can't remember. I think my brain has blacked a lot of this out.
No, same. It's all at this point. It's all combined into one episode.
Yeah,
the entire season 1 of Bad Batch.
I can't remember.
A few things
yeah. Like I'm literally picking bits because it was all like there's a Rancor there somewhere, and its name is Moochie. So I can't remember if it was after he got messed up or just before he got messed up, but we found out that Crosshair's chip isn't working. So he's just good soldiers follow orders because he just believes.
Well, he believes it, like, yeah.
But that does give him the opportunity to be swayed back to the team. And I wouldn't be surprised if we end up with him back on the Bad Batch. They're going to use him as their sort of foil, their arch nemesis, probably for the whole of season 2. Again, but I wouldn't be surprised that come season 3 time, he'll come around. Very much like Agent Callus in Rebels, where for the first 2 seasons, he was like the big bad. And then Agent Callus actually ends up becoming Fulcrum. Spoilers.
If no one knew that.
Right. So I could see that with Crosshair. I could see him slowly realizing, especially now, this feeds in quite nicely to what happened in this episode, because obviously we've now got the Empire dudes going, no, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to follow those orders blindly. I want you to do what I say. Whereas Crosshair is like, no, I follow orders blindly. So that, if anything, is going to get butting at heads with the people in the Empire.
Oh, but that's once again why we see what happening with the clone getting shot in the face, and that's right why
in the face.
It was like so wrong, and then just seeing his body fall. I was just like, the guy was just doing his job.
Yeah, you shot him in the face.
It's like, good soldiers follow orders. That's what he was doing. I mean, he just got wrecked. Down the oh my gosh. But it's also kind of why it reminds me of it's funny when we start bringing up the original trilogy, just because that's Empire territory. I remember when droids were very much a no-no in most establishments, because people have ill will about droids because of the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars were the droids being the bad guys. And it's funny how the Empire is now seeing the clones as like basically scum.
Yep.
Because they are just like, no, the better quality people to run the Empire are not clones. It's people that are trained and
that will just shut up.
This will shut, exactly.
But then the problem with that is, this was always the interesting part about it, where it's just like, why would you move from clones who are highly trained and can shoot straight
to the random Joe Schmo off the street?
Stormtrooper who's just like,
that's why they can't aim for shit, man.
Yeah. And it's because they will do whatever you tell them without question. They're not even good soldiers follow orders. They're just like, whatever you want, I will do it. And I think what Matt says here is a good point. More of the clones are going to start realizing what the Empire is and turn. I think he's definitely got a point there. As time goes on, problem is they still do have their chip, and that's never going to stop most of them just following those orders blindly.
No, for sure. And a lot of them probably don't even actually unless you were there to know that there is a chip existing in your brain. None of them know, except for probably. No, it wasn't 5s. Was it 5s?
Yeah, 5s.
In season 6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it was like 5s who on this whole thing. It's like, no, there's a chip. You guys don't know this, but there's a chip. We have a chip installed in our brain. No, you're in like literally to the loony bin with you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, but it's gonna be, and I'm already like, at this point, like, I would rather see a cameo in Bad Batch, just because at least it gives something. Like, I was really excited to see Rex in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And now that they're, Empire's basically at this point up and running, I wonder if they're gonna like ever cross Ahsoka and Bail at any point.
That's difficult, because I'm trying to figure out the timeline of that as well, because we're still very early in that.
Oh yeah, this is like Kenobi has not even happened. But from what we saw in Tales of the Jedi, we did see the fact that Ahsoka's like, I'm back in the game. Yeah.
It was 5s. And it was a sad episode. And Cass is right. It was very sad.
It was probably that's why, and it's crazy because I remember season 6 wasn't even made. I don't think season 6 was made officially by Disney. Like it was not at least released by Disney. It was released by Netflix.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that season and just feeling like they're tackling more heavy hitting things in the season than they did in, seasons 4 and earlier ones. Season 5 obviously was still hard hitting because of the whole thing with Ahsoka. They still did my dick girl dirty. I'm telling you. And people I remember when I made that TikTok of saying, if I ever see Barriss Offee, it's on site. And people's like, why? She's so cool. I'm like,
no, no. There is no redemption for Barriss Offee. Ever.
No.
For me, she's Pong Krell levels. You know what I mean? I'm like, no.
But on the bright side, at least we got to see him get offed, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
And you're Matt was right. Like they're gonna see it because they saw it with Krell. They saw that how corrupt he was, and you're like, no, you're doing the wrong thing. So they're gonna see it in the Empire. They'll be like, you guys are this is messed up. This is really bad.
Those are the things I want to see.
Hopefully.
I don't want to see them wrestling with a baby Rancor. I don't want to. I genuinely can't think of any other episodes that happened in season 1.
There was the episode that they saw Rex. So I think they were on a water planet, and they had to cross over this bridge, and they had to pretend not to fall. And then there was this episode where Wrecker's chip started messing up, so he started going after them for a bit. So I remember that.
I genuinely can't remember any of it.
I remember the Empire showing up in one episode.
This is exactly. No more pointless filler side quests.
I mean, I understand if you're coming out with a 16 episode season for animation, there's gonna be filler episodes connect one to one.
But
it cannot be consistent. It cannot be like great episode connect, great episode connect shit.
Yeah. And
that's basically what season 1.
You know the thing you really wanted? It's about 3 seconds in this one episode. Enjoy. Don't do that to us.
No.
Do we have anything is canon with Cody after episode 3? No, we don't. We don't.
I think we can only imagine that Cody became he became a general in the Empire, and then obviously they offed all the clones at some point. So
I wonder if we're ever gonna see that part of it.
Them literally just getting annihilating the clones.
Because Andor's set when?
Andor is set. Well, Andor is very close to Rogue One, which is then very close to A New Hope.
Andor's not as close to Rogue One as you think it is. It's still 3 years out. It's
3 years, but I'm saying compared to the end of Revenge of the Sith, Bad Batch, basically around the same time Rebels is happening, essentially, right? Am I going insane? Is that not the timeline?
Rebels and Andor are very similar timelines. Rebels is 5 years before. So, and this is 2 years after. So you've still got about a gap of about 10 years there, roughly, of where loads of things could happen that we don't know. So somewhere in there, because we know in Andor it's fully stormtroopers, it's fully Empire, everything's done. We're still in Bad Batch, we're still clones. Yeah. We've had no stormtroopers yet. So I need that. I need that transition. I need to know what happens. I need to. You don't understand. I need to. But do we get it? Do we get it in the Bad Batch? Do we get them just mincing thousands of clones?
I don't. That's what's crazy is and because at the end of the day, this is all Palpatine's plot, right? He was the one that really came up with the plot to get Master Sci-Fi to get shit done with building the clones, placing the order for the clones. And then he's like the only one that knows that there's a chip inside all these mother freaking clones, and he goes, execute Order 66. They all know what to do. What's that? And so he knows what to do. And then at that point, I'm like, oh, they coming from a financial standpoint, I'm like, you are killing off millions of dollars. I mean, at this point, he could care less because it's
he owns it all.
He owns it all. If he loses it, and it's like, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm still the emperor.
It's fine. I'll just invade another planet. It's all good.
Exactly. Or I can just set up a draft.
Which we kind of get. We kind of get with the whole Wedge, Luke, you know, the Imperial Academy and all of that.
No, yeah, it's very much. Well, we even see it in Andor. Do we see it in Andor? Hold on a minute. Oh my god, am I mixing Kenobi and Andor up together? No, it is Andor. Even with what's his face, the guy from the first episode that was hell bent on finding Andor.
Yes,
it was the mommy's boy.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty much like at that point, it's like standard throughout everywhere that like, oh, like if my friends are doing it, I want to do it. Let's all freaking go. Like, it's very much like people are wanting to do this because like it's a common thing.
Yeah.
So I can't believe I forgot this guy's name.
I'm terrible with names. I forget his name all the time. I forget everybody's name. Unless it's Skywalker.
Obviously, like, Skywalker, Tano.
Yeah, right. Whatever, doesn't matter. So I'm very interested to see if we get anywhere near that. If we start to see the inclusion, them starting to, even if it's just like we did in the first season, where it was like you said, the switch over between Republic credits and Imperial credits, where we start to see posters, like recruitment posters up. Serve your empire, you know, become a stormtrooper, be the best you can be, you know, because you know that's what it's going to be.
Some like hints of encouragement, like destroy the galaxy, come join us,
like we saw in Solo.
Yeah,
you know,
on
same thing.
No, on Chandrila and Corellia.
So I would really like to see that. I'm not expecting it. There goes Cyril Khan.
Cyril, that's his name.
Cyril, yeah, such a
he was just a mommy's boy.
Yeah,
like I know that we're teetering into Andor, but like that's like one of the things in Star Wars that I could not understand. It's just like you come up with these characters, and you think they're gonna be badass based off like trailers and shit, and then I'm like, he's a mama's boy.
Yeah, he's just frightened.
Right. And then with Bad Batch, and I'm like, you're dropping hints to us. Like the first episode, we saw them running with the crabs and shit, and then we see more of Omega and stuff like that. And I'm just like, please, like, just make them more badass,
like they were supposed to be. Like
that was the whole point. I'm mad that they took out that part of the episode when they're all coming to the Marauder. And there's a picture of a painting of Padme on the side of the ship. Yeah. And Anakin's like,
what
the hell is that? And he goes, oh, just the sexiest senator in the galaxy. Like,
yeah.
Why wouldn't you have a beautiful ass woman on the side of your ship? I wish they would have kept that in.
That was good. I don't know why they took it out. But that's the thing, is like in those episodes of the Clone Wars, they were pushed as like, it's Clone Force 99. They're the best.
Untouchable.
And now they're being chased by massive crabs. And I'm like, you need a child to save you.
I will say, though, I like with the first episode, and Tech got wrecked.
Yeah.
But he did pull through. And I personally thought this was going to be, I was like, I'm not going to lie. When I was watching it in the moment, I was like, we might lose Tech. Is that going to be the biggest thing? Like, we're going to lose one of them.
Big crabs.
They were huge ass crabs. Like, just giving me very
I
much
mean,
Pirates of the Caribbean.
I wouldn't have survived, that's for sure. I would have
Oh
seen
no,
one.
but
I
he
would have
was
cried and
smart,
died.
and he was
Yeah.
injured too. The mother, like I think he broke his femur, or he broke his
Broke his
leg or
femur.
something. Yo, that
And
was
he's like,
insane.
pew, 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 pew. That was pretty dope. To be fair, that whole part of it where he's saving everybody, that was dope. And I like the interaction they had with the Serenian. I forget what I watched it today. Forgot what his name is, but that was nice because that kind of showed them again, and it reinforces the point that it's just like this isn't just about you anymore. This is about what the Empire is doing to everyone else.
Yep.
And I think the more they put that in, the more we're going to see the development of the characters, because we got some in the first season. I'm not saying nothing happened in the first
Like,
season.
for example, I'm glad that Echo has evolved from being rescued and he's now
Yes.
gone more into his modified body and is more in tune with himself again. I was really happy to see Echo again. And Hunter is still, I feel like, didn't really change much, to be quite honest. Echo to me changed. Echo to me changed. Wrecker stayed the same in personality wise. Omega got a little bit more intelligent and resourceful, and that's just because Tech is teaching her all these things too. I also thought that was pretty cool. I'm like, oh, so not only like, you know, is she a part of the team, but like Tech is actually like actively teaching her like the different types of ships, different things,
and
like,
which helped as well, because she was
which,
like, this is a Lander class shuttle, it has and I was like, that is actually pretty cool.
like she's learning like a child, like to be in school, and so it's kind of nice to really see that. And like I said, making her a part of the team. But I was low-key thinking that we were gonna be seeing Crosshair. I don't know why. I was like, I think we're gonna see Crosshair these 2 episodes, and we didn't. And I was just like, damn.
I'm okay with it. I was just like, after I watched them, I was a bit like, and then I was like, you know what? This is setting the season up. You know, this is reintroducing us to those characters, showing the evolution of some of them, showing that Wrecker still likes to blow things up. Fine. I quite enjoyed that bit where he made a massive hand cannon. And the fact that we are starting to learn a bit more about what's going on. Those are the bits I enjoyed. And I'm like, you know what? If we can keep doing that, I'm going to enjoy this season.
True.
Is it going to be my favorite? No. Will it ever? No. Will I enjoy it? Yeah. So I'm going to carry on watching it. You know, it'll still be at the bottom of the list, but
it's still Star Wars.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, the more time I'm getting new Star Wars, the more chances there'll be things in it where I'm like, oh, I need to own that.
So you're just saying that the Bad Batch may make you even more broke than you are.
Well, yeah. I mean, up there is the Marauder. There's no reason I should own that, but I do. But I do. I'm like, oh, look, it's that. It's the entire Bad Batch in it. I don't care.
Wait, the entire Bad Batch is in it?
The only person that's missing is Omega, but everybody else, including Crosshair.
Oh god!
And then I nearly bought Cad Bane's ship because I'm like, oh, Cad Bane's ship, and it's got Omega in it, and I was like, oh, she could. I don't need more reasons to buy stuff. I'm quite capable of buying stuff without new stuff coming out. Thank you very much.
Very true. Very true. Oh gosh. It's gonna be, I mean, like you said, I would like them to elevate what they did from season 1 and then just not being a one-stop shop to Sid's shop. And to be fair, like I don't want to, like, I actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think when I was watching it, I saw Sid, I turned away. I stopped paying attention for a second. Because I will say this, like, no, I'm not here to shit on Sid's voice actor or anything, but like, I just don't like her character, man. It's just
no.
Because she makes it seem like her shit's so like amazing, and I'm like, you're giving them chump change for them to keep coming back to you.
I mean, and let's not forget that this mission to Dooku's planet, they got nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Zero.
There was so much. There was so much shit there. I was actually hella amazed on how much crap he owned, and I'm just like, nothing. Absolutely falls down, and I'm like,
you couldn't she couldn't keep she couldn't even hold on to the bag. Do it up. If she'd have just done that up, they would have been fine. Sims hates Omega's voice. He always has done though, and I think that's a fair comment. It's proper grating.
It is. Yeah, it's an Aussie. It's an Aussie accent. It's not a British accent. It's not.
It's a New Zealand accent. It's not an Aussie accent.
Is it really?
Hmm?
Is she from New Zealand?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
All the clones are. That's where Tamir Morrison's from. So it's supposed to be a New Zealand. I mean, it's terrible.
Oh.
It's a put-on accent.
Okay.
It's not a natural accent, that's for sure. It's badly done. But hey, you know what? Fine.
D. Bradley Baker continues to
to just do his thing and crush it every time. So who do you think we're getting cameos from this season? Because we know they're gonna happen.
I'm gonna give 5 just in case one of them actually ends up being the cameo, and I'm like, oh, at least they covered it all.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they actually will run into Bail Organa.
That's a good shout.
Because he is very, very active at this point behind the scenes. I mean, we saw it in Tales of the Jedi. And Tales of the Jedi was after, at this point, it was after Order 66. It was, especially the last episode with Ahsoka. At that point, they're very much in Empire territory. Like, Empire is now occupying every single planet. And so we know Bail's active something. So I'd say Bail Organa. I'd like to say we will see Rex again, mainly because he's still out there doing his stuff. And sometimes they do need his help.
Also, I think we may have seen him in one of the trailers.
Yes. I would have to rewatch the trailer.
Yeah.
Usually when it came to once it comes to trailers and stuff, especially with the Bad Batch, I'll see it once. I'm like, oh, nice. Don't see it again until
yeah.
So I'll say Bail, Rex. I'm gonna say Ahsoka mainly because Bail, she's with Bail at this point. So it could potentially be that, or at least we'll hear a voice of her. It could be like she sent the transmission saying, like, if you guys are looking for Fulcrum or you guys are looking for this, like, go to this planet or whatever it is. I'd like to see Wolf, honestly. Yeah. Let's see, who else would I would like to see? I think the only other cameo we may possibly get, and this is going to be from Empire side, is probably Tarkin.
Yeah.
We'll probably see Tarkin. We're definitely not going to see Vader at all.
No.
That is a no.
Yeah, those are good shouts. I think Bail's a very good shout. I think Tarkin's almost guaranteed because that other geezer that shot the dude in the face, I think he directly reports
to him.
So I think that's a very good shout. I think there's a good shot. Rex is definite. Wolf, maybe Gregor, potentially Cody.
Yeah, because we don't see Cody afterwards at all.
So those are those are kind of like the people I reckon there's potential. I'm not saying they're definitely going to be in there because that would be ridiculous. So we've now gone on for an hour talking about the Bad Batch episodes 1 and 2 of season 2. I think we've covered most of it as we should. We didn't just sit here and moan about it the whole time, which I'm quite surprised by, which means that if anything, they were okay episodes. So I'm going to give them, first episode I'll give a 5. Second episode I'll give a 6. Cody is in the trailer. There you go. apparently Cody appears in the trailer.
Okay, so that's
So we're
great.
definitely getting Cody.
Okay, so I'd say for both episodes, I'm gonna give both episodes the same because I feel like one was not better than the other. They were basically the same to me. I'm gonna give them both like a 5.5.
I think that's fair. Hopefully the next episode is going to be good, better. Better.
Let's be optimistic. I think we should be positive. Not let's go with
Positive.
Let's start
because
positive.
then we can always go down.
Let's go back to the mentality we were in season 1. Like it's gonna be the next episode's gonna be
great.
It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be great.
So obviously we'll see.
If the episode's complete dog shit, I'll be here with a drink. Not like this is water, ladies and gentlemen. I will be here with a proper drink.
I'm drinking Iron Brew, so yeah. So join us for episode 2 of Rebel Base Radio over on Nat's channel. That's a Real Jedi Princess's YouTube. Make sure you subscribe over there. We'll be there. I'm probably going to say the exact same time next week. We're going to try and keep this sort of, if we can, the same time every week. Again, just an hour, nothing crazy, nothing too long. Who knows? Next episode, we might get another person in with us to get other opinions. But we're leaving the first 2 episodes optimistic. And I think that's the best we can hope for.
I think the fact that Sam's rated a 6 out of 10 is that's hopeful for me.
It's hopeful for the world, Like, if he's like, it was all right, then I'm going to be like, wow, we might be onto something here. So thanks everybody in the comments for joining us. Be sure to be with us next week. Follow us on our YouTube's, mine, and obviously Nat's. Make sure to subscribe to us. Follow us over on Instagram. I'm at Fulcrum Force. She's at the Real Jedi Princess. Sems has said you got to try and be bloody hopeful in it. That's exactly what we're going to be. We're going to be hopeful. It's 2023. It's a new year. It's a new us. We're going to enjoy Bad Batch season 2. Come on, let's do this.
Let's go.
But until next time, thanks, Nat, for being here.
Thank you for bringing me on.
I didn't bring you on. This is our show. This is our collective show. I didn't bring you on.
I'm so used to saying that for other people's shows.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for bringing me on. This is our show.
No, you don't have to thank me. You don't have to thank me. I just said, it was nice to have you here, It's always nice to sit and chat you. So join us next week when we delve into Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 3. But until then, may the Force be with you.
And also with you.
And with you.